In the time before written history, when gods roamed the earth in human form, there were stories told around campfires of a great king whose name struck terror into even the bravest heart, Hades, the grim ruler of the underworld, the god who claimed souls upon their deaths and brought them before him. He was the silent sovereign of the dead. No one spoke his name without fear, not the mortals, nor the other gods themselves. But while he is remembered as the embodiment of death and fear, was Hades really so bad? What if there's more to the story? Here are 5 dark secrets of Hades, god of the underworld. 5. He was feared, even by the gods. Hades was a powerful god. He was the brother of Zeus and Poseidon, the son of the Titans Cronus and Rhea, and his domain stretched over the entirety of the underworld. From the moment a person's soul left their body, it was Hades's to do with as he pleased. This would make him immensely powerful. When someone died, they would travel through the underworld, which Hades controlled. And at any point, Hades could decide that he wanted to keep the person in the underworld with him, or he could send them off to be reincarnated back on Earth. So whether you were a god or a mortal, you had to respect Hades and what he wanted. Hades did not want war with his siblings. He knew how powerful they were and didn't think he stood a chance against either of them. Because of this, he never initiated a conflict with the other 2 brothers, but he also avoided confrontation with them, keeping to himself in his own domain. 4. He wore the helm of invisibility to move unseen. If Hades did choose to leave his domain, he would wear a special helmet that rendered him invisible. This was actually a gift from his father, Cronus, and he wore it during the Titanomachy to sneak around unnoticed. Later, he used it to abduct Persephone, which we will get into later. The helmet was said to have been forged by the Cyclopes and had an immense amount of power behind it. But it wasn't just for hiding. Those who wore the helm could go unnoticed and unheard, invisible to both the eyes and ears of others. It was the perfect accessory for a spy or a kidnapper, especially when Hades put it to use again during the Gigantomachy. He helped Zeus' side fight against the giants, and he wore the helm to appear only to those he wished to speak with. It was also said that he used the helm to hide Persephone away from her mother Demeter. He kept her hidden deep within his domain so that no one could see her, not even the other gods. So, although Hades was feared by everyone, the fact that no one could ever see him made him that much more terrifying. No one knew what he looked like. They didn't know how he felt about anything. All they knew was that he was watching them from somewhere, unseen and unheard. 3. He abducted Persephone to rule beside him. Now Hades wasn't alone in his realm. He had his wife, Persephone, to keep him company. But she wasn't exactly thrilled to be married to the grim god of the dead. You see, Persephone was the daughter of Demeter, the goddess of the harvest. She was a bright, cheerful deity who loved nothing more than spending time with her mother on earth, bringing life and growth to the land around them. But when Hades came along, she wasn't exactly thrilled to become the queen of the underworld. You can say that she was abducted. Her mother never gave her away willingly. You see, Demeter searched for her daughter everywhere when she heard of the marriage between the 2 and refused to believe it until she found her. And when she finally saw Persephone sitting on Hades' throne in the underworld, she was furious. This led to one of the most heartbreaking myths in Greek mythology, one where Demeter curses her daughter for choosing to sit on her husband's throne, saying that no one would ever bear fruit after her, condemning humanity to a life of hunger and strife, unless, of course, Persephone agreed to return home to live with her mother. To solve this problem, Hades had Persephone swallow some pomegranate seeds, which bound her to him in the underworld for 3 months out of every year. Then Demeter relented and allowed her to return home, but only for 3 months. The rest of the year she remained in the underworld with her husband. 2. His realm was guarded by the 3-headed Cerberus. If Hades was ever to leave the underworld, he knew he had to be careful. The realm of the dead was always under threat of invasion from other deities who sought to claim its power for themselves. And Hades was well aware of this. That's why he kept Cerberus by his side at all times. Cerberus was a massive dog-like monster with 3 heads and a tail that ended in a serpent's head. He was the guardian of hell, tasked with keeping anyone from escaping, including the souls that Hades sent to move on. Cerberus was fiercely loyal to Hades and followed him everywhere, ready to attack anyone who dared get close. Hades rarely needed Cerberus for protection, though, because no one ever dared approach him, fearful of his power. Only Persephone dared to come close to Hades, and even she knew better than to challenge him. The mere sight of Cerberus was enough to send shivers down anyone's spine, and Hades used this to his advantage. He would let Cerberus roam freely through the underworld, keeping the spirits in line. If any ghost got too close to the river Styx, hoping to cross over to the land of the living, Cerberus would sniff them out and chase them back to the other side. 1. He kept the dead in and the living out. While some ghosts might have tried to escape the clutches of Hades, he had other methods to keep them in his domain. First, there was the river Styx, which acted as a sort of border between the world of the living and the world of the dead. The souls of the dead had to cross this river to reach Hades, and once they did, they were trapped forever. There was also the field of Asphodel, where the souls of ordinary people went once they died. It wasn't a particularly pleasant place, but it wasn't unpleasant either. It was just a big, boring field of grass that stretched on forever. Then there was Tartarus, where the evil souls went after they died. Hades also had a few friends who helped him run his domain, such as the ferryman Charon, who transported souls across the Styx for a small fee, and the 3 judges of the underworld, Minos, Icus, and Rhadamanthys, who decided where each soul would go after they died. Then there was Cerberus, of course, who kept the souls in line and made sure no one tried to escape. Hades took his job seriously. He was the god of the dead, and it was his duty to keep the dead in the underworld and the living out. And he did just that. For thousands of years, Hades ruled over the underworld with an iron fist, making sure that no one dared disturb the peace of the dead. But he wasn't always successful. Every now and then, a hero would come along and steal a soul from the underworld, or a god would come along and meddle in Hades' affairs. But for the most part, Hades did his job well. He was the god of the dead, and he took his job seriously. And with that comes the end of today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please hit that subscribe button. And if you'd like to watch another video just like this one, then click the link on screen now.